sure? Okay. Welcome back to S.L.I M Academy. As you can see, the setup is a little different here. I want us to try a different approach. You know, we chilling on the couch. You know, I want you to feel comfortable. You comfortable? Cool. Today's lesson is going to be on grief. And I also want to make a brief note. I officially want to wrap this up as semester 1. This is going to be the final lesson in semester 1, and I decided to do it that way because I know it can be pretty heavy, and I do want to give y'all like the drop on how to really elevate your life, but you got to get rid of the old before you can bring in the new. A lot of people really fail to realize that, so I don't want to just be selling you pipe dreams and then you're like, oh, well, she said do it like this, and then you're not producing any results because, babe, you didn't go through 1, 2, 3 before you just jumped on the bandwagon and yeehaw. But yes, grief is going to be the final lesson in semester 1. From here on out, it's only up, babe. So make sure y'all stay tuned for semester 2. But without further ado, let's get into this. And yes, I am low-key sitting on a pillow because I'm a little small and I can't. Don't worry about it. As long as you can see me though. All right, now first things first, what is grief? Now I know people think that, y'all know I got my notes on deck, but I know people think that grief is associated with death. We typically relate it with like a loss or a loss of something or someone, but I feel like nobody really talks about the grief of losing self or the old version of you. When you realize that you're moving into a new state in your life and you can't carry old ways, you can't bring old ways with you, as fun as they may have been, you can't bring it with you, you experience some grief. The definition of grief is deep sorrow, especially that caused by someone's death informally or a trouble or annoyance. And losing the old version of you, it could cause some trouble. Now, the etymology of grief, this is, of course, Latin, which means to make heavy. It's weighty, mental pain, sorrow, hardships, or bodily affliction. In the old French term, it's considered wrong, injustice, misfortune, calamity, or an oppression, or to oppress. I think it's really interesting that grief has all of those connotations tied to it, because that is essentially really what it feels like. You're being weighed down by a lot of things, especially when you're moving into the new phase of life, but we'll get into that a little later on in the video. Now, who or what is going to be tied in with each other do we grieve over? And like I mentioned earlier, we can grieve over the loss of a family member. That's obviously the most common. Loss of friends, the old version of yourself, or even the loss of material possessions. Nobody likes to lose things, even if it's something small or minuscule. Nobody likes to lose things, especially if we deem it important. I also want to get into the 5 stages of grief. Can I tell you something? It's really 7, but nobody really talks about the other 2. So I'm gonna run that by you real quick. I'm about to put you on game. Check me out. The first one is shock, okay? Everybody experiences a state of shock. Like when you get that phone call, oh no, X, Y, and Z passed away. You're like,
ain't nobody told me nothing. Somebody go get her.
yeah. So that's shock. Everybody experiences shock. Now I want to say shock in like self-improvement or self-enlightenment point of view is like when you do something that you're so used to doing, but this time when you do it, you know it's not right or it doesn't feel good, your body experiences shock because you're like, oh, I used to really enjoy doing this. I really used to enjoy behaving this way. I really used to enjoy engaging in low vibrational activities. Now you don't have any satisfaction from it anymore, and yes, you're going to experience a little bit of shock. Okay? Now, the second stage, of course, is denial. The third is anger, bargaining, depression. 6 is acceptance, but the last one is growth. Okay? Not revenge. And honestly, that is the best part of grief, because there is good in all things. I promise you. Even if it seems like it's the worst, it's always good somewhere. Growth is the benefit of grief. Dang, say that 5 times fast. But when you're experiencing certain things, guess what? If you're uncomfortable or if you lose something, you get an opportunity to grow from it. And anything that's not growing is already dead. So you might as well grieve over it and move on, babe. How do you deal with grief? What's the best way to go about it? First and foremost, of course, I'm going to give you my disclaimer because I can't tell you how to grieve a certain situation. But I do want to give you healthy coping mechanisms or healthy outlets or healthy options to deal with grief. Start by accepting certain pieces of the given situation, whatever it is. If it is the loss of a family member or if it is the loss of a friend, accept the fact that this family member is not going to be a part of your life anymore. I know that sounds so much easier said than done. Of course, everything is easier said than done. But you have to accept that. And if it is a friend, same exact process goes for that too. They can't go with you. They can't go on your journey. Listen, if they're not willing to grow with you, they cannot go with you.
Message.
It's like the rubber band theory. You're going like this, and you're here. I'll use this as an example. I'm not gonna break it because I actually like this bracelet, but this is you and your friend. Y'all started off like this at first, okay, right? And here you are, making my way downtown, walking fast, faces passing, I'm homebound. All right, not for real, focus. So you're moving, but your friend is still back here, but you still want to keep going. You see the tension that's in this bracelet right here? Now, what was to happen if your friend was to do something simple as match your pace? All right, cool. Y'all back together again. But if you trying to go, but your friend keep pulling you back, you're either going to snap back to the current situation that you're trying to get out of, or you're going to break. It's going to fall apart regardless, okay? Whether you choose to swallow that pill or not, baby, it's going to break regardless, okay? So if anybody needs to do the cutting, it needs to be you. Because if you know you got big goals and big dreams and big desires that God has placed on your heart, and you trying to minimize yourself for the sake of others, you're only hurting yourself in the end. Don't do it. Just don't do it. So if they not willing to grow, then they gotta go. I'm gonna tell y'all this till I'm black and blue in the face, okay? Journaling. Journal your heart out, all right? Journal your life away if you have to. I don't care. Journal about it. Write it down, because doing this all the time is not good for you. You can't keep it all in your brain. You gotta let it out. And sometimes you can't afford to speak to someone else or get it off your chest in that way. So write it down. Get in that journal and do what you need to do. If you can't take the high road, please seek therapy. Babes, if you can go to therapy, please do it. Okay? Please do it. There are so many options out here for therapy. It's apps. If you can, look in your local area, see if there's possibly any therapists. And you can even call your insurance company, and they'll even give you a guide to like local therapists that are in your area. There's always a way out. So don't ever think it's never a way out. It's always a way out. If you need to seek help, please seek help. Our generation is already bad enough because don't nobody want to seek help or take the time out to work on themselves. That's something in our generation we need to stop doing. Stop expecting other people to fix you, okay? It doesn't work like that, all right? We too busy out here trying to fix ourselves. We just a whole bunch of pieces of scattered glass trying to put pieces back together. No, babe. Go get help, okay? It's no shame in that. And if anybody makes you feel ashamed for going to get help to better yourself, yeah, heavy on that. Practice self-care. Practice self-care. Do a face mask. Go take a bubble bath. Cook yourself some dinner. Order yourself some dinner. Anything that you consider self-care. Drinking a fifth of Henny is not self-care. That's coping. That's a negative coping mechanism. I don't need you doing that. Okay? Smoking 5 doobies is not self-care. That's numbing the pain. Okay? It's not, doesn't help. Okay? Because guess what? And trust me, I'm speaking from experience. It don't matter how much you smoke. It don't matter how much you drink. The feelings are always going to come back up when you come back down.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
These are things that I've experienced. I've experienced loss of self. I've experienced loss of friends. I've experienced loss of family. Been there, done that. Okay? But you got to know how to deal with it and heal with it. We not participating in negative self-destructive activities. I said self-care, not self-destruct. All right? But no judgment. One step at a time. And the most important is please be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. I done told y'all already, healing does not happen overnight. It's not linear. It's circular. Everything, sometimes those same emotions are going to come up again and again. And the same problems is going to come up again and again. It's okay. Be patient. Sending you my love. Now, luckily for you, this lesson was not that long because, like I said, everybody has their own way of dealing with grief or coping with grief, but I just want to give you my personal advice. Take it or leave it. That's on you, all right? But what I do want is the best for you. That's it, okay? The final quote that I would like to leave y'all with today, of course I have two because what's better than one? Well, besides me, because it's only one. Anyway. Two. The first quote is by Mark Twain. Nothing that grieves us can be called little. By the eternal laws of proportion, a child's loss of a doll and a king's loss of a crown are events of the same size. In layman's terms, it might be big to you, but small to somebody else. It might be small to you, but it could be big to that person. Now, does that equate to you minimizing how you or that other person feels? Absolutely not. You should never do that, as that's insensitive, okay? Like a little girl, her whole world was that doll. She ain't got that doll no more. Of course she feeling hurt. She gonna cry about it. She gonna cry in the car. That's proportionate for her. The king, okay? That man lost his crown. He lost his reputation. He lost his concubines. He lost his kingdom. He done lost all that money. And of course, to us, that's like, well, dang, you know, because we're adults. So of course we know how it hurts. But those two, they're one and the same. Two sides of the same coin, essentially. So don't be out here minimizing nobody else's feelings or how they feel, or you shouldn't be telling somebody how they need to feel about whatever situation they got going on. That's not for you, that's for them. But all you can do is be there and give good advice. Or you can share this video with them if you know they're going through something. And if somebody did share this video with you and you're watching this, just know that whoever sent this to you, they care about you and they love you, okay? And I love you too. And I want you to make it through this. And I know you're going to make it through this, okay? All right. The second quote, this is by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross and David Kessler. The reality is that you will grieve forever. You will not get over the loss of a loved one. You'll learn to live with it. You will heal and you will rebuild yourself around the loss you have suffered. You will be whole again, but you will never be the same. Nor should you be the same, nor would you want to. That last part really hits home. You will be whole again, but you will never be the same. Nor should you be the same, nor would you want to. This applies in any aspect. I'm trying to tell you, this applies in any aspect, but especially when it comes to self-development. Because when you begin to grieve over a part of yourself that you've lost, if you're losing friends, if you're losing family members, first off, I want to give you a round of applause because you're doing something right. If you know that your family dynamic is toxic and they want to stick in this pool of, we'll call it a cesspool because I told you I'm trying to be, if they want to sit in that cesspool of self-pity and low self-worth and low self-esteem and constantly wanting to stay in those generational cycles and those generational curses and nobody wants to break them, baby, you are the generational curse breaker. Give yourself a pat on the back. If your friends don't want to ride, that's fine. They might not want to ride in the hoopty that you leaving with, but when they see you pulling back up on the block with the Benz, don't stop. Keep going. You are the generational curse breaker, or formerly known, you are the black sheep, babe. So if you're experiencing grief or you feeling heavy, you like, well, it just sucks because I didn't want to leave X, Y, and Z, or I didn't want to have to cut off blase, blase, or I didn't want to have to tell them how I really felt. Stop it. Stop it. You are self-sacrificing for people that probably don't even care about you. They only care for what you can do for them. Stop it. And I know it's hard to see through that dark cloud right now, but I'm telling you, later on down the road, you're gonna look back and you'll be like, you know what? I'm glad I did what I did. Because you'll start seeing people for who they really are. What did I say earlier? If it ain't growing, it's dead. So you might as well cut it off. Because if you harboring death, can't nothing come from that. I mean, unless you's a zombie. I mean, shit, it's 2023. They might have some zombies out here. But as far as we're concerned, baby, ain't nobody coming from the dead. Okay? They're not coming from the dead. Now, if they want to grow with you, they can go with you. But if you know you got somebody that's low-key holding you down or holding you back because they're comfortable, but you're not comfortable living that lifestyle, maybe you don't want to be broke. You don't want to keep working at 9 to 5. You don't want to keep accepting mediocre behavior from mediocre people. Maybe you want to meet better people and better connections and network better. Maybe you want to find your soul tribe. And they don't want to. That's fine. It's okay to outgrow things that no longer fit. Imagine, that's like you keeping all your clothes from childhood expecting it to still fit. Man, if you don't put that Justice shirt on, you better go put that shirt back. I don't even think Justice is open no more. Well, maybe they are. And Bobby Jack is making a comeback too. All the classics. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. But no, baby, if it's not growing, it's dead. Let it go. Friends, family, I don't give a dog. I don't care. Me personally, I ain't got a problem cutting somebody out. Because if I feel like you're making me stagnant and you want me to stay a certain way because it serves you, first off, that's selfish. Second of all, I got to dip. I cannot participate in wicked games. I just can't do it. And neither should you. Be proud of yourself. Keep it pushing. I'm sorry I was in y'all face like that, but I'm really passionate about that. Okay? People be wanting to have motion. But you wondering why you keep running in a circle. Because yeah, you got motion, but all them people on the back of the train is kind of holding it up. It's a weight limit on this mug. You gotta keep going, love. Keep going. But that concludes today's lesson. nice and short, quick and easy. I want to say thank you, of course, so much to all my subscribers, new or old, for joining me today. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, share this video with somebody you think needs to hear it, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss class. And remember, this wraps up semester 1, so you already know semester 2 when I get here, baby. Now I'm about to give you the drop on manifestation techniques. I'm about to tell you, listen, but we not gonna get too far into that. I can't be, just know it's coming, and you better be there. So subscribe and hit the notification bell so I can give you the tea. Come on. What are you doing? And as always, y'all, it is what it is. It was what it was, and it will be what it will be. Peace, love, light, and stay blessed. And I'll catch y'all next time. Bye.